What a beautiful charge!
Whoa,
This is
what
fine.
is
Oh my god! This...
Oh,
what a save!
What?
Okay.
Minute. Just gonna relax. Should be fixed, we're told. Let's see. We'll. Oh, I heard. There we go from chat.
Yeah,
All right,
it's
great.
there. Okay.
Let's back it up. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ori and the Blind Forest All Skills Tournament. We are here tonight with the last matchup of the night, and it's going to be a good one. We've got number 23 seed Chicken Supreme against number 55 seed Sikinar. My name is Voligen. I'm here with Lurking Assassin to bring you the call tonight. Lurking, please don't make the same joke again, but how are you doing?
Come on, Voligen. Of course I'm gonna do the same joke. I was trying to lurk in here, but you had to call me out. But I am doing great. Excited for another match tonight. You got kind of a late night one, depending where you are in the world, but so we're gonna have a matchup now between Sikinar and Chicken Supreme, who are both yet again very close in PBUs for like the 5th match today. So
Yeah.
do you talk a little bit about them, Voligen?
Absolutely, and yeah, this is terrifying for me because I just commentated a match that was really close, and I don't know if I can handle it, but we'll see. Their PBs, as you see on the screen here, Chicken Supreme with a 34.01 obtained in a race from the group stage, Sikinar with a 34.25 obtained just a few days ago, a week ago, I guess, and you see his ludicrous improvement since the start of the tournament. Chicken's been around a fair bit longer in this game, but that hasn't stopped Sikinar from making some drastic progress. And you also see their average race times and their best race times really close, but an edge in all of these categories to Chicken Supreme. I really don't know what to expect. Chicken said he hasn't been able to practice a lot, but who knows in Ori, right, Lurking?
Yeah, like Chicken said, he's not been practicing that much. Well, Siki on the other hand has been practicing so much recently. Like every time you just see him dropping another PB and another PB. So I would say these seeding difference between them doesn't really mean much this match.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like the seeds are based on their performance in the group stage relative to, the rest of their group, their record, so on and so forth. But like that really doesn't matter much when it comes down to the bracket. All that matters is how good you are at the game tonight when you go against your opponent. And so we're going to see them get started shortly, and now is the time for them to prove that skill level.
Definitely, and I could see Chicken Supreme does have the better start of the run.
That prologue skip, saving him just a few frames over Sikinar, won't really make that much of a difference in the long run, but you never know. Maybe it will be a half-second finish at the end, and then Siki will sure be kicking himself for missing those few frames there.
Maybe time-wise it doesn't make a big of a difference, but when you notice that you're a second behind on sign, it usually just hurts you personally a little bit.
You feel your soul just escaping a little bit as you remember how dumb the beginning of this game is, or it can be at least. Well, we are just, taking a trip down to pick up sign. There's not much to speak of in this early game. Lurking, what do you think about when you're playing these first, couple minutes of the game that are so similar every single time?
Honestly, nothing. You're just kind of on autopilot until you get to the good parts of the run. You're just there, it's like, I don't want to be here. I just want to be like fast jump already.
Well, gonna take a few more minutes for that. Chicken and Siki both making use of the scroll wheel shooting technique. And so they're both on keyboard and mouse. They're both able to get through that fight very quickly. No difference in the time from that fight. It's all still that prologue skip. I'm sure that'll change soon.
I would love to see it just stay like a second difference throughout the entire run.
Hey, think of my heart, dude. I will actually die. Like, I won't survive that.
You just had to commentate that previous match. I think you need a little bit of a break.
Oh yeah, man, I'm too old for that. I can't survive that much tension. But both runners doing fine on their XP manipulation. They're both doing fine on their health manipulation. Neither of them has taken a death or what even appears to be any unwanted damage, and they also both get a health drop there.
Yeah, but Siki's doesn't drop down, so... But I guess Chicken also did skip over it, so... I think they're both still at 1 health, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. We see as they both jump into the water, yeah, but Siki picks up a little bit of a lead there.
And he is a little bit ahead of on XP, so like Chicken might have to kill an extra Bramble while Siki could just damage boost through it, so that could make another like second or so.
Yeah, there's so many little things involved in going fast on this first segment. Ori runners generally split up their timer. You know, again, this is I'll sometimes bring this down to the level of people who maybe aren't speedrunners themselves, so they don't know all the lingo. But segments are just the individual chunks of the game that you know, complete as you're going through a speed run. And Ori runners will usually split up their time by the skills that they acquire during the game. So the wall jump segment, this first 3 minutes or so of the game, is chock full of little differences and ways people optimize. As you said, Chicken had to kill 1 extra Bramble there, so you just have to spend those few extra fractions of a second while Siki was able to make his way down. Chicken also taking a little bit of extra time to be able to collect the XP there to get that level up, so
yeah,
took a few more seconds.
A troll drop, and then he didn't pick up all the XP. It also, like, again, these minor 1 seconds you see are adding up. Like, Sikinar is 4 or 5 seconds in the lead now, maybe a little bit more.
That can certainly all change in Blackroot Burrows, but you know, it's interesting to see how that progresses over the course of this wall jump segment. Fortunately, no major mistakes on either runner's part. Just there's few seconds that, again, could easily be wiped out by some other mistake, or could, again, literally be the difference at the end of the race.
Yeah, as we have seen recently, a few seconds does not mean, could mean a lot in a race, so...
Alright, nice clean movement for Sikinar on the way out of wall jump. Not so for Chicken, having a little bit of a tough time there. He is able to recover and does not get Trojan logged by that rock that is definitely not a log named after Trojan Dude. So he is good to make it out, but just ceding a few more seconds to Sikinar that he really doesn't want to be ceding.
So we agreed that that Trojan log is named after Trojan. I think this elbow should be someone's elbow.
Whose elbow would it be?
I am not sure at the moment, but we need to fix someone just so we could, you know, meme about it, of them stealing away souls, because that elbow is definitely even worse than Trojan log in a lot of ways.
Alright, we'll think about it. You know, we'll figure out some good meme candidates. Already seeing a suggestion for the People's Elbow. Some other folks suggesting Yoko, Terra. We'll see, but Siki already performing his cutscene skip using the Save Anywhere glitch. You see that on Chicken's side. Of course, this is just a quick menu manipulation glitch that allows us to move while the menu is still up. Learn an ability that automatically saves the game. And Chicken's now into Blackroot Burrows, everyone's favorite area. Lurking, please tell me about why you love Blackroot Burrows so much.
You see, I'm the type of person who just, it's kind of like a night owl. I like the dark, so... You know, I just like having the lights off. I like, you know, not seeing anything in front of me.
Well, you must hate the end of this area, then.
What about you? What do you love about this place?
Nothing. It's awful. Sikinar making an excellent jump up to the 100 XP here, but taking a little bit of extra time to get back across those platforms. Chicken, his jump is not quite as clean, but he got across the platforms more cleanly, so no real deficit makeup for Chicken there, and Siki now navigating these lasers. He's even gonna. Whoa! Oh god!
Oh
Okay.
god.
Everything is totally fine.
That
He
did
will...
also cause him to miss the cycle, so that little small fall costed him about 8 seconds.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
worse than it
good
looks.
opportunity for Chicken. Oh, we'll see. Yeah, Chicken will be able to make this cycle, so now he's right behind Siki again. He had actually built up a fair bit of deficit from some of those previous mistakes, but now it's a lot more reasonable, more like a couple seconds.
And it's exactly what you meant when you said it could all change in Black Root, because all these mistakes kind of stack up.
Oh, that's good. Siki drawing out the word lol on his screen with his mouse. So he was having a good time.
I did not notice that, but...
Well, you know, sometimes it's hard to interpret the language of mouse movements. There's really, by and large, there's only 2 sounds in that language. One of them is ooh, and that's when they circle with the mouse. And the other one is... and that is any other movement, basically.
Very accurate representation, I think. Especially the second one.
Alright, but we are on to this cutscene skip, and both runners are going to be opting for the kind of old / previous variety of this skip, where you wait a little bit, the cutscene starts, and then you save and skip, and you get control and can go activate the dash tree with the lights already on. Both of them pulling it off successfully, so you see Chicken is only about 8 seconds behind right here.
Well, basically 1-3 animation, but you say it's the old trick. I call it the "we'll stay here trick." I don't think anyone, or I don't think it's gonna be I don't think the cutscene stack will be used very commonly, except by the insane runners.
Yeah, and even among the top runners, it hasn't been totally widely adopted yet, just because of the off-screen movement, including a dash glide that you're very sad if you mess up. But now we've got some Frankie walk action. Both runners still neck and neck, so they're coming to this at basically the same time. But Siki's got the head start, and he's setting up his frog here. Doesn't quite get the optimal movement, but he gets pretty good movement.
Rolling, it's just not jumping.
Showing Siki that he does not... He knows what's happening. The Frankie knows he's being led to his death, and he wants to avoid that in any means, by any means possible.
I think the Frankie just wants the game to be synced up. Siki did get an extra energy drop, so he will drop a safety save here to very largely minimize his losses if he does die.
Yeah, that's very nice. Unfortunately, if he did die right now, he would be back behind Chicken. Chicken working on the death gauntlet. He also gets bonus energy, so
Yeah.
he's actually
does
not even
not
going to
do
bother
that.
dropping a save, though.
I mean, I kind of agree with that. The second part of the death gauntlet is not the scary part. I think after you get past the Frankie, you kind of feel safe already.
Well, I can tell you that there's a way that the crusher that Chicken just jumped on can crush you from below. So sometimes you kind of want to drop one out of Paranoia. But Siki's going for the early Grotto cycle. Unfortunately,
I don't get it.
actually, he didn't even look to try to dash for it. Maybe he wasn't actually going for it. It's
Yeah, maybe
unclear.
it's just... Because it's kind of tricky to tell if they are going for it. But
Yeah,
we could tell
Chicken-
for a fact Chicken was not because of that jump.
Yeah, exactly. He just said, you know, I haven't practiced this trick. I haven't learned it. There's no real reason for me to try any sort of weird movements. But that just means no time difference applied to the existing deficit, which is still around 7 or 8 seconds or whatever it is. And Siki will be heading to the double jump tree with Chicken soon to follow. Still a very close match here.
So Vula, do you ever like you're like specifically looking at Chicken's screen, for example, and then you see Siki taking intentional death, but you just see a death on your like other side of the screen, and you think it's a disaster?
Yes, all the time.
Yeah, I just had like a small heart attack for Siki right there when he did the ghost tour.
Like, oh no, when was his last save? Oh, it was right there. Okay. Well, it's a 10-second lead for Sikinar still, as he has left the double jump tree. Might have widened slightly as Chicken's blind movement didn't quite get him as far up as he might have wanted. Now Sikinar is coming to Grotto skip, lurking, and we'll see how he does with this.
Yeah, this is definitely a place for Chicken to catch up, but Siki's not going to give him a chance. He's going to get it on a clean second try.
Well, Chicken will just have to hope for that one miss to give him an opportunity to save a second or two, as he does come up to his as well. And he jumps up on top of the log to set up first. gets into position and he doesn't get it first try, so now he's going to go for the second attempt, and that one's not good either, so now he's losing time. Ooh, boy.
Okay, these are the worst ones, where you get the wall jump off, but you just can't, like, latch into the top ledge.
Yeah, this is not what Chicken needs at all. This skip being pretty finicky, just giving a little trouble. Now he's able to get it. It was his 6th attempt, but in the meantime, Sicky is already up to the water vein, and he has collected his key to the first and only like dungeon that we're really going to explore to any significant extent.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure we beat Mount Horu. It's just that, like, the runners are just a little bit too fast for our eyes to comprehend that.
Yeah, sure. That's how it works. Something 88 miles per hour?
Yeah.
Alright, sounds good. Lurking, tell me why you love the walls in Moon Grotto and climbing up them.
Because they look very cool. Like, you see all these small cracks and these little details? Yeah, those get in your way when you're trying to wall jump.
Fortunately, Sicky not discovering any of those. He is just chugging along, able to climb them cleanly. Chicken not having too much of a problem getting up that first set either. This section, because of those walls, can be very, very difficult to optimize and play well. And it looks like Sicky's been putting in a fair bit of work to get more consistent at it. You can see the results.
Those walls are hard to jump off, but they're also, like, that inconsistency in them makes them a little interesting. Like, you could have some very cool and nice jumps off of them if you know the right positions and you just know the geography of the walls.
I love that. That's a great expression, the geography of the walls. I'm not sure I've heard that used that way before, but that's actually really good. That's totally accurate.
I just didn't know what to say. I was not going to say, like, the small details. It doesn't sound fun.
I always think of English muffins with the nooks and crannies. That's what I think of. No? No one? Alright. Well, we're in some sort of tree, aren't we?
Yeah, I think. There's like
Yeah,
a very hollow tree, though.
This also seems very tall.
Yeah, it's kind of tall. Like, that vertical measurement on it is pretty big, but...
Yeah, it seems to be oriented along the y-axis, I would say. Alright.
Well, it depends on what perspective you're looking at it from.
Well, I'm not in bed right now, so it's not like sideways.
But the whole game is actually, like, inverted at a 90-degree angle.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, like, as a commentator, there's only so many ways I can come up with to be like, oh, both runners are playing well. They are not making any mistakes. And that's what both of these guys are doing. So I'm just like struggling to figure out like, okay, what do we talk about while these runners are just beasting it constantly through these sections of the game?
They're just not making any mistakes, or like, there's nothing so out of the ordinary to commentate on right now. So we just kind of throw some memes. I'm pretty sure Twitch chat please said something like along the lines of GDI Fula or something.
Probably. That's really kind of my goal in
Oh god, that shot.
in life.
Oh,
And
God.
this, no, it's fine. Everything's fine. We're getting the slideshow of Sukinar's screen of the mini boss as his internet catches up to him. And meanwhile, Chicken has reached the redirect puzzle thing room prior to the mini boss. So they're still pretty much at the same deficit. Sicky having been able to save a little bit of time on that grotto segment thanks to the cleaner grotto skip.
Yeah, it's the grotto skip and just general movement. Siki caught up a lot. Like, he's expanding his lead very, very clearly. Because they were about, like, I think it was 10 seconds at double jump, and now it's, I would say, it's around more than 30, so...
That said, the part of the game that Sicky mentioned that he was most concerned about was that late game. And we're getting there, but we're not there yet. Apparently, Sicky feels very confident at this part because he's just blazing a trail. But we're going to get to some of those parts later on where I wonder if Chicken's greater experience will help him out.
Siki barely missing that, like, breakable log and hitting the edge of the wall, which lost him a few seconds, but that's kind of what Chicken needs, these small mistakes that Siki could do to catch up.
Yeah, but for now, they're too small to really amount to much. As Chicken still getting to Bash Tree, he does get through his ghost door cleanly, so he will be picking up that skill. Go ahead.
Wula, please don't look at the right side of the screen. Just don't look at it. Keep looking at chicken. Okay, good.
Oh my god, what happened? Oh wow.
Don't worry about it. I just made sure you didn't curse someone else in the key because I know you're very notorious at doing that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've done that once or twice. Look, it's a hard trick, okay? Like, anyway, Suki was fine. He got his key dupe. That looks like a pretty good, oh, that's a hilarious recovery to get his ghost through. Oh, it looked like a good hyperspeed, but he didn't quite get it. And then he had some trouble with a dash glide too, so losing a few seconds there, but not that many. And Chicken taking a death on those spikes, so preventing him from getting to his key dupe attempt now.
Is at it now. Hopefully, Vola could keep his attention to Sikinar going through his soon-to-be blind movement, just, you know, enjoying that teleport animation.
Oh yeah, he's teleporting. It's very nice. Or he floats up into the air and spins a little bit.
And then like, the screen flashes, and then
Alright, did Chicken get it?
And randomly has 3 extra keystones in his inventory.
Okay, good. He got it. Good. Alright, but Siggy is on his way to Swamp, and his goal here is to enter this area a little bit earlier than expected. He's going to be using some specifically aimed bashes to manipulate a frog into a specific position. He also does not go for this blind movement here. You could skip this cutscene and prevent these lasers from spawning, but he opts to just leave them and opt for the easier movement with the camera free.
As you can see, he has a 26.3% success rate on Swamp entry, so it's probably not the numbers he want to have. So let's see if he could increase that success rate a little bit by getting a first try here. So far, so good.
Yeah, and any failure would give Chicken a huge opportunity to catch up, even with that safety save. So far, though, no problems. Aims the bash.
To kind of do this, and then that, and he's in there.
Beautiful. No mistakes whatsoever on that Swamp entry. It was incredibly clean, and Seki will be approaching the Stomp Tree as Chicken is just doing his absolute best to keep up. Note that Chicken is doing the rekindle skip of this cutscene. Also, his Swamp entry success rate in the tournament so far is 100%. He's not missed once.
He gets it first try every time.
He would certainly not want this try to be an exception, that's for sure.
I don't think it will. I have a lot of faith in Chicken's geometry of bashing angles and...
Is it technically trigonometry?
Yeah, you're right. But... Come on. It was a good joke. You had to ruin it. Anyways.
I accept it. It's good.
Yeah.
But he's in.
Got out.
That was very clean for
High
Chicken.
five real quick. They actually were both bashing at the same time.
High-fiving on the Rhino, that's certainly a thing.
That's an interesting high five.
Siki opted for the hyperspeed through the ghost door on the way into Swamp. Chicken does not bother with that. And, oh
Siki
no!
barely missed that bash off of Ringo to get up to the cell.
He did have just enough HP left on the frog to be able to put him back up there and bash off him a second time. And now he's going to get the dash glide over this laser, so he's safe. And now it's time for a Kuro cutscene skip.
Yeah, I don't know what cutscene skip you're talking about.
I'm talking about
All
the
I
one
know is that Siki's going to kind of do a bash and just continue through this area.
Yeah, there was a cutscene there. You didn't know that?
Oh, wait, there is? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he skipped it. That's what the bash was for.
Oh, I thought I was just so good at the game that I've never watched that cutscene. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. I'm sure you have a 100% success rate.
I mean, in the tournament, I do have a 100% success rate, so...
Alright. No need to brag.
Okay, let's see if Chicken gets through that bash a little bit better than Siki did. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, he does, but unfortunately, Siki didn't help him out the way that he might have wanted by possibly missing that Kuro cutscene skip and watching a 17-second cutscene, so... Chicken just has to, again, he just has to keep pace. He can't even count on, you know, a major mistake from Siki being able to capitalize on that. He does keep pace, a successful first try Kuro cutscene skip. So, again, he just needs to continue along his way, continue not making any mistakes, and Siki needs to, at some point, blink for Chicken to catch up.
Yeah, like, there is still a very sizable lead where if they both keep playing consistently, I don't think Chicken will catch up, but it's kind of in that territory where it needs some mistakes from Siki's part for Chicken to catch up right now.
That said, we are getting to the point of the game where it may not, in fact, need mistakes. If Chicken's late game execution is enough stronger compared to Siki, Chicken does have a 30-second better PB, and a lot of that may come from these late game sections. For example, Misty Woods. His movement might just be slightly more optimized. If that's the case, then Siki could possibly play perfectly for his level the rest of the way and still have Chicken catch up.
He just needs to have some Vula level Misty Woods, and he could do it.
That would certainly be impressive. But now we're coming up to fast Stompless lurking.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Or,
think it's
I'm
just
just
a
kidding.
regular stomp.
Yep.
Slow stomp full.
Good old stomp-ish
I
fullness.
wonder if he's just gonna do that like old fast stompless. You just stompless, I think that's called, right?
Yeah, just the regular Stompless. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty awful. You like grab a spider shot and you like right near that plank there, you grab a spider shot that you lured over and you send it up at the rocks and then it.
I'm just curious, how much difference is between fast stompless and regular stompless?
I want to say that it was 15 seconds faster.
Anyways, I'm pretty sure Chicken will be going for fast stompless, so this could be potential for him to catch up a good amount.
Yep, it won't completely eliminate the lead as Siki is already picking up Feather,
Yeah.
but it would certainly reduce it substantially. The last deficit that we had measured was at Charge Flame from our guys in the truck. We heard it was 53 seconds. So there's a very substantial deficit, but now Chicken is going for Fast Stompless. That could wipe out about 15 seconds of it. That shot looks good.
Yeah, now we just need to hope that he gets to the cell in time. That spider shot did not troll him, he got it.
Beautiful job by Chicken, saving a whole bunch of time compared to Siki. He finally had an opportunity to do
While
so.
that cutscene's going, let's see Sikinar doing Sorabash. He did take a safety save on that ledge to make it just a little bit faster if he dies, but he doesn't even need it.
Who is ever going to die on Sarabash? Certainly not Sikinar. Easy trick for him. And he is in the Sara Pass, which is, as always, terrifying and spiky.
He's just gonna... I'm pretty sure he's gonna take an extra safety save as well before the... I don't even know, I ran out of memes, but before he gets out of that noob spike area.
Spike Cave. Let's go to the link to the
Spike
past
cave, I like
reference.
that one.
But yeah, after having made that safety save, he is cleanly through. Now on Chicken's side, you saw a death, but that one was also intentional to manipulate the health of the birds back to full. And now he's on his Sarabash with clean bashes. He is up and in easily, and he drops a safety save as well. Very nearly messes up. Oh, unfortunately, he killed his bird. He will have to
He's
float
gonna have
up.
to just climb up there.
That is a pretty substantial time loss as Siki is working on his Terror Break, and Chicken just has to float slowly up here and even take a hit from that frog.
Rocket jumps actually save way more time than they look like they do, but just having to go up there manually, like any rocket jump, if you don't do it like this, it's just so much slower, and you don't notice it until you just float up.
Yeah, and oh, the death
Siki
for
gets the
Siki.
death with the lasers, but Terra save is always there. Terra break save, not Terra save.
Yeah, the fact that you saved right under the ceiling gives you back your life, but unfortunately does not give you back the charge jump status that you had carried through to break the ceiling. So you have to go die again to set that back up. Siki did, and he's up to the Sunstone now, but Chicken is barely 40 seconds behind right now.
Yes, but speaking of behind, Siki's actually ahead, but of his PB, not only of Chicken.
That
He is
was a very good segue.
It's charge jump, so I'm assuming he lost some of that. He's about even with his PB after that death on lasers, assuming that he didn't die in his PB, but it's still pretty darn close.
Well, we've got another high five from the runners, but Siki, as you mentioned, he is not looking back on either his PB or Chicken Supreme right now. it will be incredibly difficult for Chicken to win this race if Suki is going to PB. Chicken's PB not even being that much faster. You know, he would need to play nearly to that level. So that is a scary thought for Chicken right now. But we'll see how Misty goes for Suki. Again, these late game sections, the part that he told us he was most nervous about. But so far, that hasn't really shown in his play.
Yeah, and he did drop a safety save at the beginning of Misty, so he doesn't risk going pretty much back to where Chicken Supreme is right now and tying up the game. So he is taking some of these safety measures to make sure his late game, if he spaghettis, it's not as awful as it could be.
Yep, and as Chicken is heading out of the Sunstone area, Suki is already deep into Misty Woods, and he will be picking up the, watching the Atsu's Torch cutscene momentarily, which is pretty close to the climb skill. Chicken just needs to play as fast as he can, but at this point, it will definitely take significant mistakes from Suki for him to be able to turn this around right now.
Yeah, but then again, there is still a lot of unfun areas of the run where Suki could potentially lose a lot of times. It's nowhere near over, even though the lead is pretty substantial right now.
Yep. Well, Suki definitely has a really good pace on his hands as he picks up the climb tree with a very solid Misty. Certainly not going to have done too much to hurt his chances at a PB, and he is also still very substantially ahead of Chicken. Must be still around the 40-second mark.
But I do know some people have killed good runs right in this room.
Oh wow, Lurking.
That room is kind of painful, especially when you're in your good faces. It just happens to always troll you.
Well, fortunately, Suki's got enough leeway that is not an immediate tie, but still pretty scary. Oh, yeah, that was pretty scary.
Take another one of these deaths. He does take a safety save because he probably realizes that if he does one or two more of these deaths, he loses his lead.
God!
Oh, God, that frog.
He managed to dodge it, Lurking. He's still alive somehow.
Honestly, people say that the slimes in this game are snipers. I think it's the frogs.
Everything with a projectile, pretty much, but also the birds. Really, literally everything.
Yeah. Everything just programmed so well to kill you. Shoutouts to the Moon Studios AI creators.
Unfortunately for Chicken, that is not sufficient mistakes on Suki's part for him to catch up. That is the start of one, though. A little bit of extra damage for Suki.
For the meatballs.
He's not, but oh no!
Okay, he does have a safety save in the 4th keystone, so still not what he wants to see. Chicken is very fastly approaching him.
Yeah, this is way closer now than it was just a few moments ago. Suki is, you might even say, panicking a little bit, but then he resets with those meatball strats. Chicken taking some damage trying to get here, and I will be surprised if he didn't drop that safety save there, which he did. Now, Suki coming into the mini-boss. He still has a substantial lead, but there's a lot of room for sadness here, and this mini-boss is questionable at best. I think he's out of energy.
Yeah, he's just kind of going for kind of slow but fast kill, or slow but safe kills, and he gets it, so at least he didn't have to go back. I think he did safety save, but not having to die is good.
Chicken right behind him, pulling off a very clean quick kill. Oh my goodness.
The one cycle, so it's getting way, way closer than it should have been.
Now, the problem for Suki here is he's not watching the restream, so he has no idea whether he's ahead or behind, which means, for example, if he was planning to do any sort of slow safety strat, he might not have time to do that and still win, but he doesn't know. He doesn't have any information to make that decision.
Apparently, according to Richard, they were about 12 seconds apart when they put the keys in the door, so...
Yeah, that looks accurate. As Chicken begins his teleport,
Suki from now till the end is pretty much could be more than 12 seconds.
Yep, that is for sure. While Suki is now into Blackroot Burrows for the second visit to go pick up his light grenade skill, and he's going to be making careful progress through these laser cycles here to make sure he gets the optimal ones, and he does.
Cycle and he gets it, so...
The Chicken's right behind him, Lurking. This is... There's every potential here.
Get that cycle too, so he doesn't lose even more time. He goes for it, but it's kind of scary. Okay, that charge dash did save him, I believe. Very good adaptation by Chicken.
What
Can do the
a
kick as
guy.
well. Okay. Okay, just 2 more splits to go. What could go badly here for either of them?
Well, everything, but particularly, we could see some problems on the big 2 final tricks, Door Warp and Grenade Jump. You never hope to see those problems, but they're both frame-perfect tricks. Sicky dodging the Baneling, but having to wait 3 extra laser cycles, while Chicken has just picked up Grenade. He will be coming out momentarily. We'll see if he's able to see time.
Though. He did have some nice rocket jumps. Oh god, Chicken had to go for another charge dash to save himself from those lasers.
Yeah, and he didn't bother with the rocket jump, and it looked like that was an okay decision because he beat the laser cycle would not have beat the laser cycle anyway. He is right behind Sicky, and he's going to take this bottom round and pick up the health cell, but Sicky has almost no room to breathe here. It's still about 15 seconds.
15 seconds is about less than 1 death in the final escape or here, so
Or 3-ish door warps.
Yeah, he cannot have any mistakes right now.
Ooh, Sicky with a slightly scary dash there under that elemental, but he did not get ruined by the laser. Chicken.
And he does get again.
Oh
the
my
Chicken is
god!
in the lead again.
That's
exactly what I was talking about. These stats are so costly.
That's such an incredible turn of events for Chicken. He is now continuing up along his way. He just picked up a health refill and then took a little damage, but not enough to be scary for him as long as he doesn't stomp into any of this hot rock here, and he does not. So he is now bearing down on the door to Mount Horu with Sicky following behind him and hoping to catch up now, and not even knowing what a turnaround just occurred. And there you see the door warp success rates for both runners over the tournament.
That Bane was very close.
Oh, Sicky.
Another one of Sicky's hopes.
And he ran out of energy as well, so he's lost even more time getting to this door. Here goes Chicken's door warp attempts.
Can get
First try.
Okay, all he needs now is a clean final escape and hopefully no trolls by either Sigma Rocks or Soft Logs, as we've seen both of them today a lot.
Oh, Sicky got the double door. What?
Oh,
That I'm so confused.
I don't know what to say.
Second time we've seen that tonight, Lurking. Holy crap.
Second time today. First it was Sully and now Sikinar got it. I have no idea how that works, but I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing.
Well, for Sicky, it's a great thing, as he's going to be thanking his lucky stars that he didn't exit the game accidentally. But now Chicken is working on the final escape as Sicky's just beginning. Chicken dropping down to break through this barrier. Sicky falling across this first area with these falling boulders. Neither of them can afford to take any damage here. And Chicken does! Oh, yes!
Again.
Sicky's back in the lead! Oh my gosh.
Actually, Chicken's just taking boulders because the cycles are a little different after you die once, so these boulders could surprise you a lot. Sicky's going for his swim.
He's back in the water and he is... Oh, he takes a shallow bash, but
he has expelled.
He does, and he is going to hope that these rocks don't poke a hole in his defense, but they don't. Okay. Grenade jump time for Sicky. Not first try.
I really wonder how much energy he has. Okay, he gets it in, no soft lock. Sicky gets the win.
First try grenade jump to Sol.
First try.
Wow.
Shout out to Bleedfell.
Indeed. And Sicky achieves victory over the players seated 30 places higher than him at Chicken Supreme. What an incredible performance by him. Chicken with his grenade jump.
First try as well.
His first try, but wow.
That is painful. Like, Chicken was so close, and then he just got that one hit on that little fire, which just killed everything.
That's such a rough death to take in the final escape.
Yeah.
And now Sicky finishes up his final time, 35:06.
And Chicken is less than about 20 seconds behind him. He's just gonna get a final time as soon as he finishes that Naru movement.
You know, I was saying that I really couldn't handle another one of these, and the runners were like, "Oh, we don't care what you can handle."
Well, you made it through. You're a life legend. I hope.
Technically.
Heck.
Well, there it is. The final time for Chicken Supreme, only 22 seconds behind Siki. Wow.
We've had so many close races today. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, I mean, these last two have been just absolutely over the top, but especially in this one, you know, Siki taking the early lead, being able to hold on to it for a significant amount of time. His
Pretty
early
much up
game.
until Horror Fields.
Yeah, and he, like, his early game just blew Chickens out of the water. It wasn't until Misty that Chicken had a real opportunity to catch up. And then the massive turnaround in Horu. Just, wow.
And then just the final escape, you know. That's the thing about this run. It's not over until the final is done. Like, at no point do you just feel safe in a victory.
That is for sure. With Ori and the Blind Forest, you just never know. Even in the last trick of the game, you could potentially soft lock and have a bad time. But fortunately, that didn't happen to either runner. Unfortunately for Chicken, it didn't happen to Siki. He might have been hoping for it at that point, but alas, that's the way the you know, the Ori gets obliterated by fire in Mount Horu.
Well, either way, Siki now moves forwards in the brackets as he will have to fight Cerebiran in the loser's bracket yet again. Actually, he didn't fight him earlier. I thought he did. Never mind. But he will have to fight Cerebiran. While, unfortunately, Chicken's tournament run has ended right here.
It's a real shocker, I'm going to tell you. Number 23 seed Chicken, you know, he's an experienced Ori player, and I had the privilege of playing him earlier in the bracket, as you see here, and I legitimately did not expect... I mean, Sikinar has improved massively since the beginning of the tournament, but I won't lie, I legitimately did not expect this outcome from this race.
Yeah,
this is
it was definitely a very big upset that we did not... I don't think many people expected that.
Well, we are now joined in the call by Sikinar, the victorious runner. Siki, congratulations on an incredible... calling it an incredible upset is maybe a stretch because of your great improvement, but congratulations on your great performance tonight.
Thanks. Yeah, that was pretty intense. I was really happy with that run. Like about you know the majority of it, I was really proud of that.
Really, there was just one Misty death that I think maybe you might want back, but otherwise the rest of your run was the Horror Field.
Yeah, I was.
Horror Field.
Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
No, I'm just saying, you know, that did overall seem like a very solid run.
Yeah, I was feeling very confident going into the second half because I knew I was on a pace that boded well, and I was a little rattled leaving Misty because I just I misplayed quite a bit there, and I wasn't sure what that did to the pace. I was fairly certain up to that point that it was gonna be we were close, and then entering and then the death in Horror Fields, which was I kind of decided that was it, but I had seen the chat and I noticed that maybe something of a death of a similar caliber had occurred, and I was aware that it was still really close going into the escape. So I went from being like, kind of heartbroken, to feeling like, back into like the nerves, like, thinking it was possible to.
Well, you were
win. So that was a roller coaster.
That death in Horu almost costed you the game because it did give Chicken the lead, and you only caught back up. I'm not sure if you're watching the restream, but he had a death in the final escape. So if it wasn't for that, it was that close.
Yeah. I noticed. Yeah, it seems like we both just encountered some bad luck in the final couple splits. Mine in Horu, and appears maybe his in escape. So it was, it's kind of like, it really like came down to these major things at the end.
I gotta ask, because you sound like you've just come off of like a roller coaster. Like you sound like your heart's beating a mile a minute. I just want to ask, like, did you in your wildest dreams when you entered the tournament with your 2-hour leaderboard time that you got to submit like the day before it ended, did you at all expect that you were going to go to this, to this length in the tournament?
No, to be honest, I expected to like, I didn't project yet to where I'd be, at that point at the start of the tournament, and I accepted that. I'm a new runner. It's gonna be fun, as like to get to know the community, and that's kind of to this this point. However far I get, it's okay. It's just mostly participating is fun. But now I feel like since the last race and since kind of the start of the brackets, I've sort of been able to light a fire to really put myself into this game, and I'm gonna keep doing that. So who knows.
Well, speaking of that, your next matchup will be against Cereberan, who is, I think, in PB a little bit higher than even Chicken and you. So how are you feeling about that game?
Kind of the same way I went into this one. Kind of keeping realistic about my skills and a lot of the competitors that I'm up against who are either on the same level or leaps and bounds more experienced. So I'm just gonna use the time I have allowed for myself between now and that match to just try to get as good as I can by then.
Boy, that's a scary thought. I imagine Sarah Barron's looking at you, and he's been around a decent bit longer than you, but probably not enough to not feel a little bit intimidated right now. So we'll see.
Will be intimidated.
Yeah, I mean, even I'm looking at like, are Siki gonna have a 30 like in the next couple weeks? Is that gonna happen?
You would never know. Maybe Siki is the Sully that we thought was Sully.
I mean, Sully is already Sully. We also have Siki now. Anyone with a name where you refer to them by something that starts with S and has 5 letters is terrifying. So now I'm more scared about Shed too. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there seems to be quite a few of us. It's a clan.
It's a cult. The cult of being ludicrously good at this game compared to what one might expect.
Well, I appreciate that, yeah.
All right. Well, Siki, congratulations once again on your victory, advancing to the round of 32 in the lower bracket, and just on a great performance in the tournament so far.
Thank you.
GG, and congratulations again.
And, unfortunately, Chicken's tournament run comes to an end, but he has played really well, so just want to give another shout out to Chicken Supreme for his performance in the tournament, and having him around is always a pleasure. Hopefully we will see him in the community being active again after this. Lurking, we got some more Ori action, not tonight, but tomorrow. What do we have?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of that. We have not 1, not 2, not 3. I'm not gonna count all the way up, but we have 10 nights tomorrow. Starting from 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Timing. I think that's what the D is in the EDT, but
that is correct.
Yeah, and it's gonna be between Red Drum versus Delera, which is I think also close in PBs again. I am not very sure, but
I just feel like every match now is always close. It's between runners whose PBs are like 4 seconds apart. I don't know how, but it just always is like that.
I don't know, but I'm loving how it's going. It's definitely making it way more interesting than seeing one person just demolish everyone.
Yeah, Ronnie. Jeez. He's not even here, so the joke just falls totally flat. Anyway, yeah, that's coming up tomorrow. We have an entire day of Ori, 10 hours, all on this channel, Speed Gaming 2. So make sure to show up for that. Stick around all day. You'll probably hear more from me. You'll probably hear more from Lurking Assassin. I'm in a race tomorrow. How about you, Lurking? Are you?
No, my race is on Sunday actually, so
Wow, rip.
I get to enjoy the matches tomorrow and be ready to lose on Sunday against Smashy.
Oh, that match is going to be really good as well. But yeah, there's so much good stuff coming up tomorrow. You can do !Ori in the chat to get the schedule link and check it out. But definitely come watch those. For now, I have been Vulgin, Lurking Assassin. It's been a pleasure to be commentating with you tonight.
It always is, Legend.
And thank you all for watching. We will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Night, everyone.
Damage as they head through. So, ooh, nice job. And wow, Yoko. Oh,
No,
my
oh no,
goodness.
Yoko. Oh my goodness. Please be careful.
He hasn't taken any like really bad deaths as result, but
Oh no.
no! Why did I say that? Why did I say that?
Yeah, true Shay. And so we're gonna see what Didu decides to do. Nice safety save there, and wow, the value from the safety save.
The trick itself requires precisely positioning a frog and managing your XP, but because that can happen, because that froggy has a chair and it can stomp it right on your tiny little head.
Oh god, no! Get out of there!
Holy crap, the recovery from that.
Like, it's deceptive. Ooh, deceptively difficult. Rufus.
Holy
so close.
crap, Rufus.
Oh.
Oh god.
Fix it.
And what is happening now?
I don't know.
Oh,
Monkley's shot going through.
Oh jeez, missed the double bash though. He's gotta go back up. Monkley's shots are phasing the floor. I hope he does not get that on the upper one. Jesus, broken his swamp.
Oh,
now.
Monkley getting hit by the shot.
Metal that Terra did. Oh, missing that, but he's got the backup. That's okay. Oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
Terra. Oh my gosh. Okay, try again. Just this time you can get to the platform.
What you've seen from runners like Lucidus, Uncle Ronnie, and Eviona so far in the tournament, and oh wow, I do not know how he survived.
Both runners getting that fifth.
Oh, Randomson had a really... Wow, what a nice backup, though. Randomson had trouble with the first spider shot, but now it's basically tied.
Go stomp the rocks. And oh,
Fluffy, what
I didn't know you could do that. Can you really just keep moving and skip that cutscene?
Oh, God! Hori's in the air! Hello!
Oh, no. Oh, Frankie. Frankie, please. Please go away. Oh, that is so painful.
Oh, this is a party. Luckily, he does have a safety.
Yeah, oh, mini boss not quite going according to plan. Melvin's gonna go with the stomp spam. Keep that frog away. Get out of here. Don't hit me with your chair. He says he gets through it okay, and we'll be just finishing up Misty.
The section is really difficult with the 5 health. Alright, he gets the bash off of the fish. So yeah, he gets through, but upcoming here is...
He's gone through!
Oh, he died! Death! Richard is in the lead. No, they're tied. Richard just died as well.
What?
This is literally synced in the final escape, guys. Unbelievable.
They both stopped the thing together. Okay.
Each one of those grenades costs one. He's got one left. That's enough for 2 grenade jump attempts. If he keeps missing in that particular way, he's got one chance left.
One more.
And he gets it. The
First
clutch.
try, and well, not first try, but you know what? First try.
We'll call it first try.